坐，坐公共汽车，坐公交车，坐长途汽车，坐地铁，坐火车，坐高铁，坐船。一辆公共汽车，一辆长途汽车，一列地铁，一列火车，一列高铁，一艘船。Let's explore some of the most common methods of transportation: buses, coaches, subways, trains, including high-speed rail and boats. You can use the same verb 坐 to mean to take or to ride with all of them. When it comes to buses, you can use 公交车 or 公共汽车 interchangeably, as they both mean public bus. However, there are some difference between the two, with 公交车 being a more colloquial term and 公共汽车 being more formal. And when counting the number of buses or coaches, use 辆 as the major word. For subways or metro trains, use 列 as a major word. For trains, including high-speed rail, use 列 as well. And when it comes to boats or ships, 船 is a generic word that can refer to any type of ship or boat. To specify a particular type of boat or ship, you can use a more specific term and use 艘 as the major word. 坐出租车，打车，打的。出租车，一辆出租车。骑自行车，自行车，一辆自行车。In Chinese, 出租车 refers to a taxi or cab. The major word for taxi is 辆. To express taking a taxi or riding a taxi, you can use the verb 坐 or the phrases 打车 or 打的。打车 literally means hit the car, but commonly refers to hailing a taxi, while 打的 is a colloquial term for hailing a taxi. On the other hand, 自行车 means bicycle in Chinese, and the major word for bicycles is also 辆. To express riding a bicycle, you can use the verb 骑. It is important to note that 坐出租车 specifically means taking a taxi, while 打车 can refer to hailing any form of transportation, including private cars. 换 A 换 B, 地铁换公交。1号线换2号线。美元换人民币。牛奶坏了，我要换一瓶。The Chinese word 换 is used to mean to replace or to exchange. The verb can refer to the act of replacing one thing, person, or service with another that is new or different. In the context of transportation, 换 can also describe transferring between different lines or methods of ground transportation. For instance, 地铁换公交 refers to transferring from the subway to the bus. If you need to change from line 1 to line 2 on the subway, you can say 1号线换2号线 which means change from line 1 to line 2. In addition, 美元换人民币 means to exchange US dollars for Chinese yuan. Likewise, if a bottle of milk has gone bad, you can say 牛奶坏了，我要换一瓶 to mean the milk has gone bad. I want to exchange it for a new bottle. 线地铁10号线换5号线。路坐5路车到火车站。One important concept is a fixed route for transportation, which we can express using the words 路 and 线。路 is used for buses and 线 is used for subways. For example, 地铁10号线换5号线 means transfer from line 10 to line 5 on the subway. To expressing taking a bus, we can say, for example, 坐5路车到火车站 which means take bus route 5 to the train station. 掉头在路口掉头，这里不可以掉头。掉头 which means a turn of 180 degrees that a vehicle makes so that it can move forwards in the opposite direction. For example, if you are driving and someone tells you 在路口掉头, that means you should make a U-turn at the intersection. However, it's important to remember that not all roads allow for U-turn. If someone tells you 这里不可以掉头, that means you're not allowed to make a U-turn in that location. 停车，停这儿吧。上车，在这个站上车吗？下车，在天安门下车。First up is 停车, which means to park or to stop a car in English. When you are taking a taxi, you might want to say 停这儿吧 to tell the driver to stop the car. Next is 上车, which means to get on a vehicle in English. For example, when you are taking the bus, you might ask someone 在这个站上车吗？Which means, do I get on the bus at this stop? Finally, we have 下车, which means to get off a vehicle in English. For instance, if you're taking the bus and you want to get off at Tiananmen Square, you might say 在天安门下车, which means get off at Tiananmen Square. 堵车这儿堵车了，今天没堵车，今天很堵。堵车 means traffic jam in English. If you're stuck in traffic, you might say 这儿堵车了 to indicate that there is a traffic jam where you are. On the other hand, if there is no traffic, you can say 今天没堵车 to indicate that there is no traffic today. Finally, if there is a lot of traffic and it's causing a traffic jam, you might say 今天很堵 to indicate that there is a lot of traffic today. Here, 很 is used to indicate very or a lot. 师傅，司机师傅，师傅，我去天安门。王师傅，师傅 is a term of respect in Chinese culture, used to address skilled workers such as craftsmen, mechanics, chefs, and even drivers. When addressing a driver, it's common to use 司机师傅 to show respect for their knowledge of the roads and their driving skills. For example, if you need to go to Tiananmen Square, you might say, 师傅，我去天安门 to ask the driver to take you there, and if the driver's family name is Wang, you could address them as 王师傅. Overall, 师傅 is a term that embodies respect and appreciation for someone's skills and expertise, and it's important to use it in a polite and respectful manner. As we conclude our discussion on transportation-related vocabulary in Mandarin Chinese, we hope that you have learned some new words and phrases that will be useful. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again in our future language lessons.